Hey Bible lovers, I'm Tim Nichols and I'm here to bring you your Nicholsworth, and today we are going to talk about the process of comfort print with 2K Denmark. Now, you know that the Bible has been around for centuries and it's been laid out in different ways due to the different options of scrolls and eventually going into books and different things, and there's a lot of words in the Bible. There are thousands and thousands of words to fit into this Bible, and for many years it meant compromise on font size and layout and words squished together and really thin, kind of hard to read letters and letters that weren't very dark, and there were a lot of issues. And over time we've seen that improve. And with this one, this is a crossway verse by verse. And this is probably among the best fonts and text layouts that you're going to find. It's nice and dark. The spacing and everything is good, but the lettering is still a little thin in this Lexicon font. So I'm going to set this aside and we're going to talk about the comfort print. Now, let me tell you the process of what happened to make comfort print come to be. Basically, Thomas Nelson and Zondervan came to 2K Denmark and said, we would like to create a new font that gives each of our translations personality, readability, and beauty. So what 2K Denmark set out to do was to create a font that was sharp, that was readable, that was comfortable, and that was laid out nicely. There's several factors in what makes a font readable. The number one is the font itself, the typeface. How does it look? Is it rounded? Is it tall? And then the second thing is its typesetting. How is it laid out on the page? What's the leading space? How are the letters spaced out? Then the third factor is line matching. That is when the text on the front matches the text on the back of the page and they're even back to back, so there's not a lot of ghosting. And then the last factor is the paper. Is the paper thick or thin? Is it opaque or is it see-through? So 2K Denmark set out to really address all of these issues and made what, in my opinion, is one of the most beautiful fonts that exist in Bible reading. So let's take a look at the 6 translations that they have the comfort print in, and let's take a look at each personality. First of all, if you look at the King James, you will notice, now this is a large print, actually it's a giant print, and you will notice one thing that makes the 2K Denmark comfort print stand out is the red letters. They make the best red letter text on the market. You will also notice that the fonts are bold. They are dark. They make the darkest fonts available on any text in the Bible. Their partnership with HarperCollins Christian has been wonderful because HarperCollins Christian addresses the paper issue. And you will notice that the letter spacing is very nice. The font is very dark. The leading space between the lines really gives you a nice break for the eyes. It's very comfortable to read, and it has a classic kind of Times New Roman-y look that gives the King James the personality that you're looking for. So you're not reading the King James in this really modern looking font and it kind of seems violent to your eyes. It gives you kind of a look that you're used to. Then we move into the New King James, which is very similar in its layout and in its size and in the shape of the font. It kind of still has that Times New Roman look. The next thing we do is we move into the NASB. Now the NASB I love because the NASB kind of has this tall, kind of sleek, almost kind of an American look because it is an American text. After that, let's move into the NIV. The NIV kind of has a modernized, kind of a rounded look. Now the first run of the NIV was really controversial because it did something funky with the E's, but they've fixed that, and you will notice that the E's now don't have that gap and it reads really nice. Moving into the NRSV, this is probably my favorite. It took some getting used to on this one, but the NRSV kind of has a pointed, kind of jagged, kind of gothic look that really pays homage to the fact that this is not just an American translation. This is an English translation, regal and royal, meant to be ecumenical and go across the churches. It's just beautiful. And then last but not least, we have the NET, which kind of looks similar to the NIV. It kind of has that rounded, modern look. But as you can see, all of them are bold. They're dark. There's plenty of leading space. The layout is perfect. It's line matched. It's on beautiful paper. It's really just a match made in heaven on earth between 2K Denmark and HarperCollins Christian. So now I'm going to tell you which ones are my favorite. My favorite comfort print has to be the King James. The King James gives you that just look that you're used to, the look that you grew up on. And I'm going to go ahead and throw 1B as the New King James because they look so similar. My second favorite, I know I said that this one is probably my favorite, this kind of a match between these two, but I'm still working on this one, is the NRSV. I love the Gothic look. It's just, it took some getting used to. I have to admit, when I first read it, it just kept looking weird to me. But once I got used to it, I fell in love with it. And then in third place is the NASB. I love the tall, sleek look of it. And then I'm going to put these two, the NET and the NIV, kind of a tie for fourth because they look very similar. They're both very modern. But if you struggle with some of the fonts in your Bibles, I highly recommend that you go with the 2K Denmark and the Comfort Print with HarperCollins Christian. They're also working with Holman. They're working with Schuyler. They're working with several other publishers for their typesetting. But this is not only typeset, but typeface. So they designed the font and they designed the layout. And I believe they hit a home run. So anyhow, there you have it. Keep calm. Jesus on. This is your Nicholsworth.